Remember when everyone said that leadership was dead in Rise of Kingdoms? Well, Philip II is here and he's going to prove us all wrong. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. And today is a crazy day. So Philip II has just been revealed in Rise of Kingdoms, and I have to say, this guy looks like a stud. I mean, look at the look on his face right now. He is ready to rock and roll. Now, I have to address the elephant in the room. Philip is a leadership, versatility, and support commander. Now, hold up. Before you click away from the video, this guy may be one of the best commanders ever added to Rise of Kingdoms, and it cracks me up because everyone thought leadership was done. In fact, one Rise of Kingdoms content creator even made a video saying that leadership was going to get skipped in favor of cavalry because Lilith has abandoned leadership. Well, we were wrong. This guy is an absolute unit, and I also really like his setup. He's got leadership, versatility, and support, which means that he has actually got a pretty good kit. Support's going to help him when it comes to slowing down targets if he's your primary commander. Leadership is generally what you would expect, and versatility is kind of the standard here. That said, I'm not sure we're going to be pairing him as a primary, so with that, let's jump into the skills, and I can give you my thoughts on skills, who you should pair him with, and whether or not I think he's going to be meta. Spoiler alert, I do, which is a really big problem. Let's begin with Macedonian Phalanx. This is an AoE type target attack, but realistically, this is a support skill, so it's not going to be really an AoE from an attack standpoint. For the next 2 seconds, up to 5 nearby allied or friendly troops, including this commander's troop, take 10% less damage and deal 20% more damage. Now, it's really important. This is all damage. So, smite damage, normal attack damage, all damage. This equates to the Crystal Tech maximum skill times 2 when we talk about the importance of this commander, right? If you're in KVK, you can invest in all damage tech, right? This gives you 20% more all damage. That's insane. Just this skill is insane. Now, the effects of this skill are multiplied by 2 for this commander's troop. So if you're buffing your own troop, you're taking 20% less damage and you're dealing 40% more damage. But you may be wondering, who can you pair this guy with? He's a leadership commander, right? You just wait. Moving on to his next skill. While this commander's troop is on the map, their cavalry units gain 35% attack, their infantry units gain 35% defense, their archer units gain 35% health, and their troop gains 20% march speed. So he's fast, and you can put him with almost any unit type, which I love. Historically, they've had this like approach to leadership where you have to have another leadership commander with him. You can pair Philip with literally any commander in the game, which if you guys are familiar with my videos, you know I am such a huge fan of that because I love the diversity of being able to move commanders around and pair them with whoever you want. This commander can do that. He's like Joan of Arc, but better. So, of these bonuses, we all know I would favor health over anything else. Also, archer health is really hard to come by, and 35% health is massive. So, this should start getting you guys thinking about who you might want to pair him with. I also do have another hot take as to who you might want to pair him with. There are a couple other commanders that you could probably sub out, but let's get into it. League of Corinth. If this commander's troop contains at least 2 different unit types, classic leadership, it gains 15% march speed and takes 15% less damage. Okay. If their troop contains only 1 unit type, which it probably will, it deals 30% more damage. So they've actually made it so you're incentivized not to use the leadership approach, right? Because 15% march speed, meh. 15% less damage, good, but we also have that in the primary skill. Whereas, if I have 1 unit type, I deal 30% more all damage. This is kind of a no-brainer. I would take 30% all damage dealt all day, every day. Because the other thing you have to remember, taking less damage doesn't matter quite as much. as the damage you put out, especially if you're using an AoE commander. So just keep that in mind. All units are one of 4 unit types, so you could use siege units and ranged with this guy. I don't know, Mr. Siege, let me know in the comments. Is this something you're going to be running? Could be. It could be viable. So this is kind of crazy. Realistically, I'm looking at that damage bonus for my units. Now, his last skill, Conqueror of, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Whenever this commander's troop deals a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal direct damage to up to 3 nearby enemy troops. Every additional target reduces the damage by 15%, that's fine. And you reduce their rage by 100. So you've got a debuff, you've got direct damage, you've got 2 different kinds of buffs that you're getting. This guy's nuts. He's absolutely crazy. And this is instant proc damage. So if you're cheesing out of your city, you can do this. You have AoE instant proc damage, which I really like, because the other thing is you're going to be wanting to pop these skills pretty quick. This is like having Alex built into a commander, which again, should give you guys some insight as to who I might be considering to pair him with. Now, his expertise is Vergina Sun, which, oh my god, insert memes here. What a name. I don't know who picked it or why, but okay. Whenever this commander uses their active skill, they have 40% chance to use their active skill a second time. What? This is crazy. So you can pop that active skill twice, and that active skill, again, for him, is this AoE buff that's going to last 2 seconds. I wish it lasted longer, but it's going to last 2 seconds. I think that's awesome. I mean, realistically, you're going to be double procking all the time. Whenever the other commander in this troop uses their active skill, they have a 20% chance to use their active skill a second time. Oh, that sounds a lot like Joan of Arc Prime. This is nuts, guys. I don't know who at Lilith HQ came up with this commander, but he is so broken. I'm gonna just say it. He's an instant max. I don't care what unit type you're running, you need this guy in your march. You need him in your march. It's like having max Crystal Tech without spending any money. You need to be maxing Philip as soon as he launches. And I'm not saying it because I want you to spend money. I don't. But this guy is insane. Okay. So let's talk about who you're going to be pairing him with, because I think that's really important. First off, I don't think he's going to be a primary. Because if you're running him with another unit type, which you should be, you're going to want to have that commander as your primary. Because that commander is probably going to have the skill tree, which you want, or they're going to have the unit-specific tree. So, for example, one of the commanders I might consider running him with is actually going to be Nevsky. Because today I'm running Nevsky William. William, he's got AoE. This guy also has AoE. And you're getting a pretty massive buff. Now, the downside of running him with Nevsky is really going to be the fact that this skill is only going to give you cavalry attack bonus. But let's go in game here real quick. If we go in game and we look at William today. Okay, we found William. Let's go through his skills real quick. He deals AoE damage, right, which is nice. And for the next 3 seconds, troops hit by this skill don't benefit from skill damage buffs. That's nice. And you debuff their march speed. You don't have that coverage with Philip. However, your buff from William is cavalry attack bonus and all damage bonus. This is 10% all damage. And this is 20% attack. If you look at Philip, he's kind of got you covered here. If we go back over here, I hate to say it, guys, he has 35% attack. And if you're using one unit type, you're dealing 30% more damage. So that's an instant upgrade. Now, that said, let's look at the third skill. If this commander's troops on the map, their units gain 30% attack. So you're now up to about 50% attack, which is fine. I think that's pretty good. And when their troop launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal extra damage. So you also have instant proc damage with William. However, it's not an AoE. You have an if the target's surrounded skill, which is nice because it kicks off of what Nevsky's primary already has. I'm thinking you could pair this guy with Nevsky and probably do better than Nevsky William. That's just my first impressions here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. That said, this is not the pair that I think you should be running for sure. I think it's a potential. But again, you can run him with any of your commanders, which makes him extraordinarily viable. So let's talk about the second pair that I like, Luce. Today, a lot of people are running Luce Alex. And if you have William Wallace maxed, I'm sorry, he's fine, right? Mine's 5552, I've been holding off. But if you're running Luce Alex, now may be the time to switch. Because you can run Luce primary, a lot of people already are doing that, and you can pair him with Philip. So let's look through. Luce, I think, has really good synergy. You have the attack. The main thing, and the one we're looking to replace, is going to be Alex. So what are we getting from Alex that we're going to want? You have instant proc damage from Alex. That's right there. You're getting that same instant proc damage. You've got this shield. Realistically, the all damage taken debuff is actually going to be better than this shield, I expect. Up to 3 nearby enemy troops take 30% more damage for 4 seconds. You have the same coverage. And actually, if you're running one unit type, you're getting 30% more damage all the time, not just for 4 seconds. He has march speed and attack. You're trading some attack for defense with infantry, which I'm okay with. Personally, I would take defense over attack on infantry just because the infantry equipment is probably already going to give you that attack. So I don't think you're losing anything there. So why would you keep Alex? I'm not seeing any reason to keep him. Maybe you gain 40% attack or 30% defense. I think the one thing that he's missing, just looking through, the one thing Philip is missing is more raw stats. But I don't think you need it, right? You've got the 30% more damage. You've got the defense there, and you have this, which is going to make it so you're taking and dealing more damage. You're taking less damage and dealing more. I mean, this is going to be better than a true defense buff because you can just use this. I think that Alex is going away. I think this is probably going to be a really viable pair, having Luce with Philip. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you've maxed William Wallace, I'm not sure that you're benching him just yet. But if you haven't, part of me does wonder if Luce Philip is going to be better because William Wallace is tailored to just infantry. You can't move him around. Whereas Philip is going to be kind of like having an artifact commander. You can just put him wherever you want. So that's just my take there. But that's not the best pair. The best pair that I think this guy has is actually going to be for archers. And there are a couple reasons for that, right? So if we go back to Philip's skills, we go back over here. His health bonus is going to be 35% for archers. That's kind of unheard of. Archers really don't have a lot of health bonuses that they're getting today. That said, I don't think you're going to be putting him with Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang is going to be AoE. I like the double AoE that you get with Herman. I like the debuffs that you're getting with Herman. I would not be breaking up Zhuge Liang and Herman at this time. Who I like him for is actually going to be the secondary Archer March. And there isn't a very clear like, oh, this is the secondary Archer March you should be running today. But typically people will say Ashur-Banipal. And I think that's right. If you're running Ashur-Banipal with Nebu, you need to drop Nebu and you need to run Philip. And I think that's a no-brainer because you're picking up health, you're picking up a lot of different damage, and I think you need that. If we go down to Nebu here, who I have maxed, I can show you exactly what I mean, and I can show you the trade-offs you're getting when you use this guy. So here's Nebu. As you can see, Nebu has some AoE, which is nice. You get direct damage up to 5 enemy troops. That's good. And he deals direct damage factor. Philip doesn't deal a lot of direct damage. He has that AoE effect that has a 10% chance to proc. That's not very frequently. But he does have other benefits. Nebu has 30% defense and 15% march speed. Archers need march speed. Archers need march speed. You do get that with Philip, though. If you go over to his skills, you'll notice that he is giving you a 20% march speed boost. But the 30% defense, I would happily trade for health. Happily. I have no qualms about trading that. Next, if a commander is leading a rally attack. already useless. This third skill for Nebu, out the door. Fourth skill, this commander group deals 15% more damage. Well, sorry, Nebu. Sorry, Nebu. 15% more damage versus 30% more damage. Kind of a no contest. It's kind of a no contest, I have to say. And then you got Nebu's expertise here, which is just more damage on that primary active skill. This is the commander I think you're benching. If you're running 5 archer marches, you should be picking up Philip instantly. If you're not, you may want to consider him to bench William. That said, they are about to release more cavalry, so I might pick up Philip, hold him, and wait and see, unless you have a KVK that you need commanders right away. But I'm thinking the next cavalry are probably not coming until February-ish. So you're going to have 2 months or so with leadership. So I'm thinking Philip, my man, has a lot of potential. I think that he's probably going to be a must-have in Rise of Kingdoms. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you've enjoyed, drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, do be sure to hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right-hand corner, and hit that bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. Thank you all. Shappy out.